Hello YouTubers, this is cessnaace back again with another video. Now I probably sound different to you than I have in previous videos. That is because I am using a different microphone. Now I had been using this Blue Microphones Snowball Ice mic, which as you can see uses a tripod leg configuration for its stand. Unfortunately, one of the legs fell off. Now, I can usually get it back on once it falls off, but the problem is it doesn't want to stay like that. When I try to set it down on the desk, one of the legs, that's this one, you shouldn't be able to do that for one thing. It wants to go like that, and then the others fall into place that way. So it winds up laying almost flat on the center part. That takes up way too much space on my desk for one thing, and for another it has a tendency to tip over. So I mentioned this to my wife and that we needed a new microphone, and she ordered one. She let me pick it out. This one is $60 on Amazon. This one is $50, although it has more features. Now you'll most probably notice that it has a flat stand. I figured if I got another one with a tripod configuration for a stand, in a couple of months I would wind up right back where I started from, with a broken stand. Now, this has a dual pickup configuration. It has cardioid, which picks up the sounds directly in front of the microphone, and it has a setting for omnidirectional, which is from all around the microphone. That's one feature. I will switch from one to the other. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now personally, I'm not enamored with this sound. It sounds too tinny. I prefer this sound. Now, also, on the back, you'll notice that it has two things plugged into it. One is the USB connection, and one is for my headphones. Yes, there's a headphone jack on the back of the microphone. Now, another cool thing is I can adjust the level being picked up by the microphone. I can increase it or decrease it like this. I can go da, 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 da. Information that if you could read lips you probably understood what I said, but otherwise not. So that's cool. Also, it doesn't pick up very well on my web camera, but currently the light is green, but it cycles through green and blue and red, and I can turn that off. Oh, I changed it to blue. Or I went to blue. And red. I turned it off one time. But I'm not. Oh. Whatever. I cycled through it and I hit where it wasn't displayed at all at one point. So there's that. Also, there is, did I mention this? A mute button. I'm saying, okay? Alright, there's that. I have a package, well, a couple of packages coming. If you watch the Crow Continuum, Crow 1111, you have seen this game console, or system. I have gone ahead and ordered one for myself. Well, I should say my wife went ahead and ordered one for myself, or for me. I told her I really wanted one, and I wanted it for my birthday. Now my birthday is in March, and she said, well, we may not have the money to do it in March. So we went ahead and ordered it today. So when that comes, I will show it. I've still got a lot of packages backed up that I need to show. Packages from things from another world, from Atari Age, and from CollectorVision. Now, last night I uploaded a couple of videos to this channel, only one of which is still up. The one that is still up is a play video for a game called, well, it's one of the tables for Pinball Lockdown. Now, I'm an administrator at LevelUpScore.com, which is a competing site to HighScore.com. In fact, it was started by many of the top users of HighScore.com. And one of the deficiencies of HighScore.com is that there are a lot of systems. Well, every system you can think of is in there, but games have to be approved by an administrator, and there are several gaming systems at HighScore.com that still don't have an administrator. So one of the other administrators has to take over and do it as time permits, whereas at LevelUpScore.com, link in the description box, that's different. Every single gaming system or platform you can think of has at least one game administrator, a person who can approve the addition of a new game, settings, difficulties, if it's a racing game, tracks, if it's a pinball game, tables, and that sort of thing. In fact, I had noticed that Pinball Lockdown was not in there, and I am an administrator, game administrator, for 30 systems. Not just me, though. I am, for most of those systems, a redundant administrator. I can go through one of the other administrators that hasn't gotten to it yet and approve them or not. And so there's that. But what's cool about it is I buy a lot of pinball games on Steam. I have 38. And on the games that have multiple tables, I own every table, including all 100 tables for the Pinball Arcade. That would include all the tables that are no longer legally able to sell because they lost the license. So Williams tables, Bally tables, and Midway tables. I still own all those. Zaccaria Pinball has now over 100 tables, I believe. They are still releasing tables for it. They have several categories, and one of the members of the development group at Magic Pixel for Zaccaria Pinball told me that they are considering adding another pinball category to Zaccaria. Now currently they have solid state and EM, or electromechanical. Those are digitized versions of real tables that Zaccaria made in Italy. Okay, and then there are the retro tables, which are demakes, if you will, of all their, or a lot of their previous tables. And then there are the remakes. These are more fancy versions of the same themes as those digitized tables. And they have awards. These are tables that you can earn or purchase. And then there is the newest category, which is which are the deluxe tables. Themes that they had already used in their solid state, and maybe even they'll get to some of their EM tables, and they create a deluxe version with a, you know, flat screen display and all that stuff. Well, they're thinking about adding another category of pinball tables. Now, I'm not going to say anything more than that because I don't want to betray the confidence that was given to me. Plus, which I know that they are working on getting Zachariah Pinball fully over to iOS devices. So there's that. Now, I can't remember if I touched on this or not, so if I'm repeating myself, forgive me. But last night I uploaded 2 videos to my channel. I think I started to talk about this. Pinball Lockdown was one of them. The other one was called, or is called, Coronavirus Battlegrounds COVID-19 News. And the object, well, there are 2 objects to the game. One is to stay germ-free for as long as possible. And then once you become infected, the object then becomes for you to infect as many people as possible by coughing and sneezing on them. So you're chasing them around and so forth. I recorded a play video of it, but I did not want it on my channel. So I posted it to Patreon/cessnaace, link in the description box. So if you really want to see what that game is all about, I did a play video of it, but you have to be a Patreon supporter to see it. It only costs $1 to become a member. But anyway, there's that. Let's see. Yes. This computer that we're using now, I mentioned, has 2 hard drives, plus it has a solid-state drive. Solid-state drive is 256 gigabytes. And for some reason, we found that it was filling up. And once it would get to a certain point, that would freeze up this computer. And we didn't want that to happen. So, I don't know what was being added to that drive, because for example, all the games that I purchased for Steam, those are not downloaded on that solid-state drive. So I couldn't figure out, well, what exactly is going into that drive. But I deleted as much of what I could to make room for additional stuff there. And we have ordered a new solid-state drive, which should be here any day now. It is a 1 terabyte solid-state drive. So we should be a little better off once that comes. Okay, glad we had this little chat. And if you would like to become a Patreon supporter, it's real easy to do. Just click on the link in the description box, go there, pledge at least $1 a month, and you have access to the 300 or so exclusive Patreon posts that I have made there. I am still giving away Steam games there. These are Steam keys that I acquired legitimately through another site, such as Daily Indie Game, or Fanatical, or Humble Bundle, or Indie Gala, or in the case of the Fishery, directly from the developer. And that game is making tremendous strides, and we're getting closer and closer to my lake being added. Mark's Lake has a nice sound to it. The home lake in that game is in the UK, because the developer is in the UK. Carol's Lake, which is near where home lake is also in the UK. Now the next lake to be added, all I know about it is that it is an international destination, so it's outside of the UK, and all the developer would tell me is that it's not in the US either. Now the lake after that to be added will be Mark's Lake, and as I'm located in Jacksonville, Florida, it will be located in Florida. So the fish that you will be able to catch there are all fish that are freshwater fish native to Florida, and gators. Yes, you can snag gators. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough. Until next time, stay awesome. Okay, here.